Welcome back, Wash of Walk-Ons podcast. Here with a couple of my good buddies, one of whom happens to be the most hated man in Iowa sports. So just back for another week, another fun episode with the boys. What's up, fellas?
I think you're talking about me, and
I'm not talking about you or Gary, Kevin, and I'm not talking about myself anymore. Even though I was really vying for it a couple of years ago, but
what did you do something this weekend that I missed?
I think you're referencing the Discord conversation, which
I just like to jump in the Discord, and every morning it just seems like Kluger's just getting pooped on for something new. It's just he's ruffling feathers for something new. He's got the people against him for something new, and it's just feeling like he's the Iowa sports heel now.
I don't know if it's Iowa sports, maybe within our own little fan base, sure.
Well, listen, that's the only Iowa sports I get, buddy.
I suppose
Iowa sports doesn't go any further than our podcast to me.
It does go a little bit further. We Iowa field hockey had a big upset win over Rutgers over the weekend, 8-3.
Upset? Aren't we the number one team in the country?
No, we've fallen off since a few weeks ago, a month ago. All the way to 8th. Rutgers was 3rd. We beat the hell out of them. Iowa soccer currently in the Big Ten tournament, I believe, just upset the number 12 rated team or something in the country.
Those are likely two Iowa sports communities that you aren't hated in yet.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, I don't think they hate me there. If they do,
keyword yet.
That's why I said it.
If they do, that means they've turned the podcast on at least once, probably. Not a lot of Iowa football talk going on. Obviously, they didn't play yesterday.
Thank goodness that we don't have to talk about Iowa football today.
Doesn't it feel?
I wouldn't have showed up had we, because I was chilling at Jared's, and he was like, "What time's the podcast, dude? You're usually gone by now." And I was like, I just don't feel like doing it today. It's like I don't know. If it was Iowa football, it would have been a wrap.
Well, but even though we are on here doing it, it still kind of it feels like we got the week off, even though we still showed up, right?
Yeah. I don't have to try and defend the people I care about. It feels good.
Fun stat I did find and tweet out though about an hour before the podcast though. 9 of 14 Big Ten teams have not hit the 25 points per game mark this year.
Really?
9 out of 14, including the entire Big Ten West.
All right. So
we're still low on that total.
The remaining 5's got to be Penn State, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing Ohio State, but probably not by much.
It's Ohio State.
They clear.
Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And who would be the 5th?
Rutgers,
maybe?
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep. It's a little bleak in the Big Ten after I found that.
Maryland and Rutgers being the two that are falling up the Elite Three, the Big Three, that feels bad.
The bottom 9 are bad. Wisconsin just barely missing it at 24.8 points a game.
And they stuck with Ohio State this weekend for a while.
Didn't they? Yesterday.
I didn't watch the game, but I saw the score, and I was like, what is happening?
I think it was 17-10 in the fourth quarter. Wisconsin had a chance.
Oh, yeah.
After the week before, Ohio State went out and looked incredible on defense against Penn State. I don't know. Football is weird. I think we'll probably get into that a little bit. We're probably going to do a shorter episode here, as we mentioned. No Iowa to talk about. We're not going to drag this thing on. We all probably want to kind of enjoy a down week, a little week off here. So we'll go for another 25 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. But
depends on if the conversation's good, dude.
Some weird football stuff happens. It is Halloween season, spooky season, and the Broncos just scared the crap out of the
Outlaw
Chiefs.
had a hell of a football game today.
Every time the Broncos play the Chiefs, he just becomes the greatest
goes
football
off.
player of all
Yeah,
time.
he does. He does.
That's the first time Josie's beaten the Chiefs, right?
They have not beat the Chiefs. They play them twice a year. Yeah, they've never beaten them. No, the Broncos play the Chiefs twice a year, divisional game. They haven't won since 2015.
Hey, and nobody beats the Broncos 17 times in a row. Right? Nobody. You might be able to get me 16 times, but never 17. All right.
That old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 16 times, shame on me. Fool me 17, can't fool me again.
You can't fool me anymore.
Grant, it's a huge weekend. It's a huge day for you.
I I think the Broncos are back. I was called a madman. Hold on. Hold on. I was called a madman for saying the Broncos were going to beat the Chiefs this year. I was called a madman. But look where we are now.
By who?
Defense,
Who called you a madman?
you.
No, I would
Yes.
never say that word.
Yes. It's on a DHT or somewhere.
I would never say
It's
madman.
somewhere here. Oh, like synonyms, like delusional, insane,
Delusional.
I might have
sound
called
about
you
right.
insane.
something along those lines. But anyways, we're here now. Beat the Chiefs. 3-5, maybe the best 3-5 team in the league. There's a discussion circulating about it right now within the league of is this the best 3-5 team in the league?
I want to see who the 3-5 teams are in the league.
There's a discussion circulating right now. Defense is back. Russ is cooking like Remy the Rat from Ratatouille right now. He's doing great. I mean, it's maybe check the Betfred app. Making the playoffs. It's not off the table right now.
He said Remy the Rat. I can't. Oh my God, I'm checking the standings right now. Let me pull up the 3-5 teams. Oh, you're better than the Patriots. They're 2-6.
Okay.
The Houston Texans are 3-4. The Tennessee Titans are 3-4. The Indianapolis Colts are 3-5. I don't know if you're
Will
better than
Levis threw for 4 tugs today.
Yeah, he went off.
What is happening?
Grant, I'm going to be honest. 3-4 Houston, 3-4 Tennessee, 3-5 Indianapolis. I don't think the Broncos are better than any of those teams.
Well, first of all, 2 of those teams are not 3-5. So how can they be the best 3-5 team?
You're right. They're better than 3-5. They're 3-4.
Right. So I'm saying that we might be the best.
You gotta lower the bar a little for the Broncos.
Okay. All I'm saying is if that performance we had today is against Gardner Minshew and the Colts, Broncos win that game. It's that simple.
The Commanders and Rams are the other 3-5, exact 3-5 teams in the league right now. And I don't know if you're.
We did lose to the Commanders. So
I don't think you're better than either of those teams. You're not better than the Rams. So
I mean, did you see the score of the Rams game today?
I did, but
what?
I don't think whatever Remy the Rat's cooking up over there, which I think is a good name for.
Yeah, but buddy, they just held the Chiefs to 9 points.
You're right.
I mean, let's at least give the team their flowers for a week.
Mahomes had
none of those other.
They never
teams,
got in the end zone.
None of those other teams are holding the Chiefs to 9 points.
I'm giving all the credit to Josie Jewell.
He played unreal.
The defense went this defense had 70 points scored on them not long ago.
Yeah, I know.
And then now they're holding the Chiefs out of the end zone for an entire game.
It was pretty wild. The Chiefs got something like 15 or 16 plays in the second half offensively.
And that was after they were gifted another several plays on a drive by a bad penalty call after Josie made an insane play.
Justice for Josie.
Justice for Josie, dude. That's a bad fucking penalty call.
I don't know if you guys saw, but the punt return fumble, the muff.
Oh, yeah.
That was because of a banana punt. He punted that sideways, which is super hard to catch.
Well, Sean Payne went full Kirk Ferentz there, punting from hit the 30-yard line to try and get a turnover there.
Whoever hit the returner after he muffed it, perfect opposite nut, Kevin. You probably didn't see it, but it was great opposite nut technique. Took him completely out of trying to recover the fumble, and Broncos hopped on it. It was great. It was great technique. Wallace.
Did you see Johnny Townsend or Tommy Townsend, whichever Townsend brother it was? He got in a car crash on one of those returns.
Did he?
Oh, dude, the returner, he kind of got tripped up, and those last couple acceleration steps as you're trying to catch your balance. Dude, the returner hit him in his one shoulder. It looked like he got hit by a bucking bowling ball.
It's not
a cannonball right in his shoulder.
It's funny that you described that as a car crash because I was at my my PT a week ago, and we were talking about somebody in the NFL. I think we were talking about Wirfs or something. And he was like, "Man, I just respect those guys so much because they go through 45 car crashes a game, and then they're expected to do it 7 days later, 4 days later again." And I was like, that's actually a great way to describe that. They are kind of just getting in constant car crashes.
That's what playing fullback at Iowa was.
It's not good.
You were just the car crash guy. I'll never forget. There was this one certain dickhead of a coach that we've mentioned on this program a couple times that started talking shit to me after I got a stinger. It was like my second or third year. I got a stinger, and I think it was third year. And he's like, "You're always getting hurt. Why are you always getting hurt?" And Brian goes,
Good question.
"What do you mean? Why is he always getting hurt? You see what he has to do?" Like, he's like, "Have you seen what we ask these guys to do? What do you mean?"
Yeah.
Shout out Brian, man.
It's amazing you're
Love you,
still
dog.
alive, to be honest.
Brother, you have no idea.
No, I maybe not, but I know better than most.
True.
In your case. Kevin, did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, I did. So far, Drake, though, it seems like you're going to hit the over. So
I've already hit the over, brother. I'm playing on borrowed time for the rest of as many days as I got.
I think back in college, we put it around 32 or something
My
like that.
friends
That was a
never gave me
ridiculous
chance at 25. My Muscatine friends didn't give me a prayer to make 25.
See, and I always thought I've always given you 45. But
Wouldn't that be kind of poetic?
what? Oh,
If I died at 45, that'd be pretty
man,
cool.
if you die at 45, I think things happened how they should. I think everything went the way it should. It seems
Especially
like,
if it's of a heroin overdose.
well, that's if that's an interesting outlook. If that's how if you connect those two things.
If I gotta go out if I have to go out at 45, why
That's how
wouldn't
you
I want to go out with some hair on?
hair on.
I thought you were going to let Bo take the 50 cal on you.
Well, he could shoot me after I shaking off some hair on.
Just make sure that he's done. Right.
All right,
before
this just got
podcast-
dark. What's going on?
I don't know. Right before this podcast,
Look in the
I saw
mirror,
that-
man.
Fact. I saw that Harbaugh's contract was rescinded by the University of Michigan.
Rescinded how?
Or the
He's got to have
contract.
a clause in there somewhere.
Okay, let me find it. Grant, can you find it on Twitter? I saw like the Washington Post put up this. Let's see if I can find it. The contract that was supposed to be signed or supposed to go into effect was rescinded or something like that. Something of that nature, I believe. I don't know. So that's that whole story is picking up more steam.
Did you see the? I guess this has been kind of a story for like the better part of a year now, but apparently their ex-OC was like hacking email accounts or something like that.
Yeah, what's his name? Matt Weiss or something like that? Is that his
Something
name?
I forget, but
Yeah, he was.
I saw like the FBI was involved. I only saw the headline of the article,
Yeah.
but obviously a lot more attention on it now that
What's going on up there?
crazy things going on up there.
I'll tell you what, the state of Michigan and their sports teams, Nasser,
And their largest city.
Mel Tugger, which, by the way, I think might be on the wrong end of that thing. I think he got screwed last I saw. But, yeah,
Oh, so
Michigan
they
is,
were going to offer him a new contract,
and they pulled that.
and
yeah.
I mean, he's
So there's
only
gotta be
leading
some,
one of the best teams in the country right now.
Legitimate question. I don't know where this goes. A lot of people, especially on the Michigan side, are saying this is a nothing burger. A lot of other people are saying that they should get extremists are like, yeah, give them the death penalty. Take away their wins, which I'm cool with because then 2021 Big Ten champs. Do you guys think what are the odds Harbaugh is coaching Michigan next year?
Still greater than 50%, but
Yeah. I think I put it at like
I mean, a
80.
sizable percentage that he's not. I'd say 70 to 80%.
I was gonna say 80, like 4-1.
Still coaching Michigan or just coaching football in general?
Coaching Michigan.
Oh, okay.
This guy's gonna coach football till he dies.
So I was gonna say it's like, well, I mean, yeah, he's gonna be the Bears coach.
Which, by the way, Bears Chargers as we record this about to kick off. Tyson Bagent, CrossFit guy, quarterback. You want to go over the betting recap, Grant?
Sure.
You want
Yeah.
to pull that up?
Yeah, let me get it real quick.
On this weekend, saw Drake from your world of the Saturday, let's call it mixed martial arts variety. No, it was boxing. Did Francis Ngannou get boned?
I don't think he got boned, but I was talking to Bo today, my jiu-jitsu coach, Bo, And I was like, I legitimately think that fight was a draw. I was like, that was about as good. One knockdown,
Okay.
and Tyson probably outboxed him by a little bit, enough to make up 1 point. He probably outboxed him over 10 rounds, but he looked bad, pretty lackluster late, looked pretty good for 3 or 4 rounds after he got knocked down. So he outboxed him a touch, but it was a draw of a fight.
A lot of people were upset with that Tyson Fury decision.
The bettors got him at 8-1 or something.
Sure.
I have the results for you of the
I
week.
would love to hear those.
Kluver, you went 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
Tough ones out there. Oregon looked great though.
They
Like
did.
I think that adds up to maybe 2 wins. Just on how
does.
easy that one was.
It doesn't. I'm not into these fake wins like Drake is off his part, trying to take 9 wins off of a parlay win.
Except I didn't take any wins off of parlay.
Took
0.
I'm giving you shit, but
I could take a win for the parlay because that whole parlay, it was a pick. I mean, that's a hit.
I thought we did give you a win for that. You deserve a win.
I gave him 1-0 in UFC parlays.
Okay. Oregon made me look good. The other 2 teams probably canceled that out. So rough day.
Who is Louisville, by the way? Because you had Duke over Louisville, and Duke just put up a big old egg. Louisville beats Notre Dame, gets beat by Pitt pretty badly, then blanks Duke. Like, who the hell is Louisville? What is Jeff Brom doing over there?
I don't know, but I've been on the wrong side of Louisville every time that I choose a game with them in it. And
Jeff Brom hates Kluver so much, dude. For what at Purdue, he's just like, fuck Kluver.
Was it our fault? Was it our fault when he whooped our ass a couple times?
Probably your fault, yeah.
Or I mean, my fault. Was it me?
He knew
so. only one. He only beat us once.
He knew I was on the sideline. You know who else I jinxed? I think I lost the game for Oklahoma this weekend.
Ooh,
I was talking about how they were going to be Big 12 champs undefeated going to the playoff.
Gary said that he could see Oklahoma being in the playoff.
No, I said I could see them getting left out specifically.
Well,
even if they were undefeated.
You told me you could see them being undefeated.
Well,
yeah, I said that if there are 5 undefeated teams and one of them's Oklahoma, they would be 5. They would be left out.
Yeah, you did say that. That's facts. But
you
also said that they were one of your 8 teams that you could for sure see winning the national title.
As of last weekend, sure.
I suppose there's still a chance that they make it.
I'm just saying that's a big fall from glory. They just lost to Kansas.
Either way, I think it was my fault. Tough one for the Sooners, though. Very cool for the Kansas Jayhawks, though. Their goalposts ended up in the lake.
Didn't see that. No, that was pretty funny.
You love when a team can celebrate like that. You know,
they deserve it.
They do.
How much do you think a goalpost costs?
Not cheap. For some reason, not cheap. You'd think you could go to Home Depot and throw one together, but not cheap.
I'm sure you can make one yourself, but
they could for sure just go get some lumber and paint it, dude.
Yeah, just put wood. I mean,
but people who are actually, that's like a special order item. Like, not just a whole lot of those being made, you know?
And have you noticed that Penn State's got white goalposts?
They do.
And the backdrop is a whiteout. Those are hard posts to see.
And an NFL goalpost is allegedly $15,000, but
it's not cheap. It's not cheap.
Oh, I mean, for NCAA money, that's chump change.
I don't know if that's just because it's like a game used NFL goalpost, or I don't know if I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
you're on eBay right now.
I don't know if they're deeming it like a relic.
Can we justify a purchase for the walk-ons of a game used NFL goalpost?
I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't buy that right now.
This was used in the, from 2010 to 2014 in the Steelers stadium. You can buy this for $15,000.
How much do you think if you got if you found the goalposts from the Minnesota, I don't know, what do they call it, the Metrodome back then?
Yeah.
That got walked out by the Iowa fans. Say like you had it and you just put it up for sale on Iowa Twitter right now. How much?
There's no way it's still intact, right? Like,
if it was, I'm saying, how much do you think
the whole thing?
Whole thing.
Oh my God, there are some Iowa fans that would buy that and put it either in a storage unit or their backyard or somewhere. I bet there's an Iowa fan out there that would pay 50 G's for that.
You think?
Yeah. Yep. I know a couple that might.
Man,
that got some
that's a
cash behind
legendary piece of memorabilia.
It's
yeah, it's not.
okay.
It's not. It's like even more so than like your favorite player's helmet or something like that.
Which brings me to this next.
Shout
this
out
is
CJ Beathard's helmet.
I was just gonna say this is a great question. Throw that goalpost in there included. All time, what are the best pieces of Iowa football memorabilia that if they were on the market, they would be like the sought after item? So is that goalpost number one?
No.
What would be number one?
Niall Kinnick's Heisman Trophy.
That's a pretty big one. Yep, that's a big one.
Or just like the statue.
The statue of Niall Kinnick.
Statue of Niall Kinnick.
Holy shit!
I would say the statue. I might buy that. Try and get the DNA off it.
That thing stinks. You know.
Things probably got some juice on it, man.
It's got some juice on it for sure.
You think the statue or the trophy goes for more?
Well, the statue. I think the statue.
No,
Yeah, but it's the Heisman fucking trophy.
Have you seen how big the statue is? So big, though.
Yeah, we touched
Yeah,
it.
we
before
touched
every
it,
game,
G-Bone. I looked at it up close and personal.
Which, by the way, real quick callback to the women's basketball game. It was so cool how they did the hawk walk, touched the trophy. They ran out of it. I love how they mimicked exactly an Iowa football game. It was cool to see them.
Grant, you were there, right? Did they do the Niall Kinnick Heisman Award acceptance speech before?
Oh shoot, did they? I don't think
They
did.
They didn't.
Grant wouldn't remember. He's more of a 2:30 a.m. guy, as highlighted by this past weekend. He was putting in work for the walk-ons at like 2:30 in the morning.
Shout out to him.
I'm actually very curious what your sleep schedule is, if there is a.
It's not great. It's not great. Could be better.
How much sleep do you average on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night span per night?
Oh wait, only those days of a week?
Those three, yes.
Okay.
Well, those are the days that are really bringing your average down. So we want those numbers.
I hope you're a big time afternoon nap guy.
Well, no, not if there's football on. You can't miss that.
Grant watches football until he doesn't sleep it.
Well, that's why he's got the best record.
Are you averaging more than 5 hours a night
during Thursday, Friday, Saturdays?
Yeah.
Yes.
More than 6?
Yes. Are you just going to keep going up? I don't know what the exact average.
If you're
is.
more
I would guess that it's more than 5.5 and 6.
Then it's actually not as bad as I thought with how your face made it seem. If you get more than 6 hours of sleep on the weekend as a college student who's just doesn't have anything other responsibilities other than just being a college student, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Okay. Maybe I'm doing okay.
There's certainly people doing worse.
It's true.
Heisman Trophy, Niles Heisman Trophy, the Niall Kinnick statue, the goalposts when we took him down in Minnesota.
What about just like any of the trophies? Like
Hayden Fry, the hat that Hayden Fry used to wear.
I was going to say the Orange Bowl, but that doesn't compare to the Heisman.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go trophy, galleries, Outland.
I was just going through the building thinking about things I would steal if I was being honest.
I feel so bad. What was the officer's name that used to always walk KF in? Remember the pistol that he had?
Oh yeah.
It was like a special pistol.
It was engraved with
I think that'd fetch a pretty penny. Why can I not think of his name?
I can't think of his
name.
That's
a good grab, Kev.
That is a huge grab. That guy was elite, by the way.
He was elite, man.
I gotta find his name.
Did y'all see Ross died today?
I did see that. Yeah,
it's tough.
He like had a heart attack and drowned in his hot tub.
Yeah.
Fuck. It's not the way you want to go. I was gonna bring up another passing on DHT this week. I think I'm just gonna leave it for that. It's not. We'll just leave it at that. Gruesome sports. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. You want to patreon.com/washup-walk-ons if you want to hear us talk about it.
Looking forward to this conversation.
I'm trying to think of other cool memorabilia. If you're listening at home, y'all are crazy and you're older than us, so you guys would have and let's stay away from like players' helmets and players' jerseys because you could just list those off at a turn.
But let's be honest that CJ's helmet in downtown Iowa City was the single funniest.
Yeah, that was it, Kev.
Well, what would you say?
Ron Stewart.
Oh,
deputy from Polk County.
You're probably right, Drake, that jerseys and helmets would run the coop there.
No, but that's just the funniest memorabilia story that I've ever heard.
It's probably the greatest, yeah.
Siege launches his helmet and dude who picks it up ends up downtown with it on his head.
Scoops it and wears it downtown like a Halloween mask.
Like a gangster.
I would never take it off.
Man.
Oh shit.
I would like
there's like a whole bleacher. Like you just get a whole bleacher.
No one gives
in
a
your
fuck
living
about
room.
no one gives a fuck about a bleacher.
Okay.
Send us your number one or give us your top 5. Maybe we do a top 5.
KF's watch collection.
Does he have a lot of watches?
Dude, you haven't seen all of his bowl game watches in the case in his office waiting room?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I was talking. Like all of those chronological watches.
Anything that KF owns.
But they're KF's chronological bowl game watches. Think about that.
That's a cool collection for sure. I have this image of somebody taking the Nile Kinnick statue like in the bed of their truck.
There's got to be something cool in the weight room, doesn't there?
I'll say this: those blown up images of like Bob Sanders and Dallas Clark hanging in the weight room. I would love one of those. Speaking of, by the way, quick shout out to some NFL Hawks. We already talked about Josie. Geno Stone.
He's got a bunch of picks, doesn't he?
Buddy's leading the league.
In interceptions?
Yeah, he's got 5.
Holy shit.
He tied Ed Reed for the most interceptions through the first half of the season for the Ravens franchise.
Stop.
Ed Reed's the best ever. There he is. 26.
Dude.
Just fucking around, finding out.
Is this a contract year for Geno?
It might be.
Dude.
Buddy's
that
making
would be
money.
Cool. That would be cool if it was a contract year for him.
It's 19, 20, 21.
I think it's a contract year.
It's a contract year, I'm pretty sure.
My guy's about to be paid.
But if he finished the season with 5 interceptions, that would be really good.
Huge.
Contract year.
He's got a lot of time left to just keep doing business.
Ends in 2024.
The thing is, too, is Hook is so good, too. We got...
Well, Hook already got it.
He already got his.
I know. Like, we're going to have, what, 2 of the top 10 paid safeties in the league, maybe?
Amani Hooker drives a Maybach.
I don't know if Geno will make top 10.
Depends on how the rest of the season goes.
Yeah, true, but...
He ends up with 10 picks.
I'll bet he gets Amani money if he ends up with 10 picks.
What's Amani Hooker make?
$11 million a year.
Oh, God.
He drives a Maybach, dude. I don't know if you heard me say that.
I did, and I'll be honest, Drake, and this is gonna be one of those things where like, Kluver, you're such a fucking square. Dude, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, Amani's not even in the top 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah, number 10 is Quandre Diggs at 13 mil.
Phew, safeties make money.
If you're good, man, that's a very valuable position to have a pretty damn good player.
I wish I would.
Derwin James is leading the league at 19 a year.
God damn.
Minka Fitzpatrick at 18.2.
How much would a Maybach run me?
$250,000 to $350,000.
Oh my God.
Depending on the package. And let me tell you what, I've seen the inside of Amani's. The package ain't light.
Let's compare that to what I drive. It's a 2008 Honda Accord that I bought off my father-in-law for $4,000.
Now pull up the 2008 Honda Accord.
I'll be honest, they look similar.
I guess I thought it was more than $250,000, but his is loaded.
I'll be honest, my Cadillac clears that.
Behold, Caddy.
The 94 soft top Caddy. That might be a piece of
Thing had a suspension like a roller coaster, man.
Oh, yeah, it did. And you could fit an entire football team in that car. If there was if you killed somebody and you needed a car to fill bodies, you want the 90 series Cadillacs. They had some space in them.
Thing was driving a boat.
Dude, you cannot imagine how hard it was to get around parking lots.
I remember, like, dude, you had to turn the steering wheel like 4 times,
Yeah.
like 4 whole revolutions to like just to park the thing.
Yep. Oh, that thing is legendary. My dad just brought it home one day in 2009. He's like, "Hey, I got your car." It's like, "All right, guess I'm driving a 94 Cadillac."
In 2009 when we were 14?
Yep, right after I got my permit.
Say that word again.
Permit?
Permit.
Now say Wolves.
Wolves.
Dang it.
It's just wrong.
It's so wrong.
Hey, but I noticed the way I say wolves came up again because there's a book that I read with Ken Diesel, and it's got the dog, like it's got all the animal sounds. So you get to the dog page and it says woof woof, and I say it instead of like woof woof, I say woof woof.
Just setting up your daughter for failure. You're a terrible father.
Yeah, if that's the worst I do to her, I'm doing pretty good.
She probably won't end up a hooker if that's the worst thing you do to her.
Yeah, I'd say.
Probably.
And honestly, that's what we're going for. That's bottom line. We're just trying not to be a hooker. Grant, I realize I've derailed us entirely. Can you get us back to how you and Kevin fared on the betting recap this weekend? And then we'll just wrap this bitch up.
Kevin had a pretty good weekend. He went 2-0-1.
Okay.
Ohio State pushed for him, but Nebraska easy, and then FSU just totally wiped the floor.
Yeah, Ohio State's the
FSU
one
is
that
pretty
came.
good.
Yeah,
They're really good.
FSU is pretty good. Ohio State should have won by about 30. Kyle McCord is an average. I think without Marvin Harrison Jr., like Kyle McCord is a very average quarterback.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is good.
Yeah, he's a top 10 pick in the league next year.
He's number 2 or 3.
He's top 5, I think. Yeah,
I think he's the first receiver off the board.
for sure.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about
So
number 2.
2-0-1 is pretty good.
Yeah,
2-0-1 is good.
that Sunday night lock in for the extra half point ended up being the difference between the tie and the loss. So
Love that.
If you bet it anytime after Sunday, you lost. So I'm sorry about that. Blame Kyle McCord for throwing interceptions in the red zone.
Guy's ass. And Grant, how did you fare?
Not the best weekend. Virginia Tech did really well on Thursday, but then Utah obviously got crushed, and then Kentucky just like it. If they just got one stop, like the entire game, they would have been fine, but they couldn't get it done, unfortunately. But so I wouldn't want it to. We're just not might blow my lead in the record in the standings.
Trying to scroll through here and see if there's any other games that piqued my interest over the weekend.
They lost by 6. What were you getting? 4.5?
I had 3.5. So
3.5. Okay.
yeah. So
North Carolina drops not an egg, but they dropped the ball against Georgia Tech.
it's two losses in a row as double-digit favorites.
Air Force stays undefeated against Colorado State. Huge.
Did
Go
you see the Colorado State student section got unsportsmanlike conduct for throwing
For throwing
snowballs?
snowballs.
Hilarious.
They moved them back to the 19th row. Like
Oh, really?
whoever was left, the students had to back up to like the 20th row or something like
That's
that.
funny.
Ranked Tulane gets a win over Rice, just barely. So they're going to stay ranked. James Madison,
Look out,
3-point win.
the JMU Dukes.
Put them in the playoff, man.
I just want them in a bowl game. Like I hate this rule that they have.
Yeah, it's a shitty rule. Iowa State, another impressive win against Baylor. They are trending really in an upwards trajectory since we played them. And then Nebraska kind of smacked Purdue around, which they're also trending in the right direction. They're at 5 wins.
They tried to do Nebraska things in the fourth quarter.
They did.
I don't know if you saw. So they blocked the field goal, return it for a touchdown, go up like 24-0.
Yeah.
They let up a touchdown with 9 minutes left. Then they go for it on 4th down on the Purdue like 40-yard line. And for some reason, Jeff Sims is in the game. Fumble it, let up a touchdown. Purdue, all of a sudden, it's a 10-point game. And so I'm like, oh, me betting Nebraska this game, like Nebraska's going to do Nebraska things. And I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
They managed to just milk out the rest of the clock, but they tried to lose. I think they fumbled the ball like 4 times.
I think it's safe to say, though, at this point, they're 5-3. The rest of their schedule is tough. They could easily lose every game. I think they have Michigan State next week, and then it's something like or Michigan. No, they already played Michigan. They play
Maryland, Wisconsin, Iowa.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're a 3.5 point favorite opening up versus Michigan State. I think Michigan State's bad.
Do you think at this point now
Maryland might be a coin toss? Wisconsin, they'll probably be a touchdown dog. And
do you think they'll be favored against Iowa?
They might be favored versus Iowa.
I think right now they'd be favored against the Hawks at home, last game of the year.
Yeah, probably.
I think they have to probably be.
I mean, they've
favorite.
Unfortunately, Rule has had he's taken them to places that Frost could have never dreamed of already in 8 games.
Well, Frost also could never dreamed of a Big Ten West this fucking week. So
you're right. So there's that. Iowa, technically, as long as Minnesota loses to Ohio State like people think they should and will, Iowa technically still controls its own destiny, as does Nebraska. It could come down to the Big Ten West champ coming from the game in Lincoln, last game of the year. It certainly would make that game more entertaining and spicy than it's already probably going to be.
And it's actually kind of crazy because it's been a deciding factor for the previous 2 years already.
Yeah.
You think about 2021, Hawks had to come back and win in the fourth quarter, blocked punt. Shout out Henry Marquez.
Amazing game.
And then they needed Wisconsin to beat Minnesota the following day. And then last year, all the Hawks had to do was win. And, Cooper DeJean has to take a little nap. And we have no backup cornerbacks. And
Coop takes a nap and the Hawks took a nap.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that Coop got knocked out.
Oh, yeah, he got concussed that game.
Oh, man.
And then we had their NFL
Nebraska game plan from that point on was throw it at that guy.
Yeah.
Hey,
we had a backup safety playing cornerback the rest of the game.
You remember that one friend that we had that we still have? We almost lost him though. When he took a friendly fire shot at his temple and was just sleeping on the Nebraska field.
Hey, sometimes you take a nap, man.
And then you get up and
that guy's still in the league.
And then you get up and you try and fight the opposing training staff.
Amazing.
Ben's never thrown a punch in his life, and he was trying to swing on the people helping him.
Shout out to Ben Neiman.
I love you, Benjamin.
Joe for putting him in the dirt too.
Yeah, I mean, just try to put the man in his grave.
Josie doesn't care what color you're wearing, what your last name is.
Guns up. I think Josie hates the Chiefs with a different level of hate that I've seen come from Josie. Like in college, when Josie came home in a bad mood, the hate he had for me was serious. Okay.
Yeah.
The hate he has for Kansas City is far superior to that. He made a play today and he looked so fucking angry. And then he shot so many simulated 6-shooters in the air. He ran out of ammo.
Simulated 6-shooter.
I caught a weapons charge.
Drake, you bring up one of the funniest things, probably the most subtle funny things from our time in Iowa City, and that was if Josie was pissed, he would just walk in the back door, and we would be sitting there, and he would just go, "Fuck you, Drake." Totally unprovoked.
Yeah.
Just fuck you, Drake. Walk right upstairs. God, it was great. Man, I miss that. Fuck. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. We'll let you guys go.
I want to hear Grant's weekend. How was Halloween in Iowa City, man?
Well, it was a good time.
Did you almost drown in the pussy and have to swim to the butt?
Shout out Lil Wayne.
No, good weekend though. Actually, shout out to couple people said hi this weekend. Shout out if you said hi to me, appreciate you. But yeah, overall good time. Iowa City is always great. Over Halloween, I was struggling with the costumes a little bit. I somehow, despite Halloween being on the same date every year, I forget to get a costume every single time.
And so what was your back? What did you have to,
Well, I went as an Iowa pork producer pretty much the entire weekend. So.
Did you wear the apron? Man.
Yeah, I just wore the apron.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to the pork producers.
Shout out to the pork producers, man.
No, at least this time, I mean, like, I think a lot of people just assumed I was like a cook or something, but like, I went my sophomore year, I went as a contestant on The Price is Right, and I was getting like scolded for my lack of creativity for my costume. Like, people were getting genuinely upset.
What, did you just have like a name tag on your?
Yeah, it was just a yellow name tag. Yeah.
I'll give you some advice. Oh shit!
Go
This
as a
was
gynecologist.
this was well close. This was your last Halloween in Iowa City. Unfortunately, Kevin and I one year went as doctors.
Got a stethoscope and everything.
Go as doctor. Just go as a doctor.
Go as a gynecologist in particular, because you know what those guys do?
Are you asking me if I know what a gynecologist is?
Yeah, G-Bone. You know what organ they're specifically good with?
I do.
Yeah, go as a gynecologist.
The doctor move was smart. I
Girls
don't know
love
if it was-
showing gynecologists their pussies.
I'm not sure if it was Kevin's idea or mine, but
Well, we were also in a last second situation.
Yep.
And we're just like, let's go to Walmart and buy some scrubs.
I was there too, fellas. I just didn't go out that night.
yeah, Drake just didn't go out.
Oh, yeah, you were there.
That's why I said be a gynecologist, because I beat you guys to it. You went as doctors. I one-upped you.
We're having
just
fun,
didn't go.
Kev.
Still are.
Still having fun. Hope you all are having fun. Hope you had a good Halloween, or you will. Eat a bunch of candy. Hawks are back. We will preview that game later this week. We'll talk to you then.
Kevin, don't you still dress up as a doctor all the time?
Every damn day.